evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1243rd edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Of course, that being me. Good evening, traders. I am presenting these videos to you almost nightly. In these videos, they are geared to teach you the art of technical analysis and how to use that moving forward in today's markets. Traders, I started down on the trading floors in 1982. Do the math. There's some 30s in there if you do the math, right? There might be 2 3s if you keep doing it. I've been in the business for a long time now, and a lot of the time on the trading floor, I've studied with John Murphy. I've studied all over the universe. I've traveled to exchanges all over this planet. You are getting the technical advice and the knowledge from someone who's doing this for a long, long time. I just want you to know that. Now, this is my opinion. Just want you to know, and you need to know that futures trading can be extremely risky and cause substantial financial loss. So don't be fooled. This isn't the Mega Millions. Like, you can't go to a gas station upstate New York and buy a $326 Mega Millions ticket. Can you imagine all the work we do here with this nonsense? You pull into a gas station in New York and get a $326 million winning ticket. My goodness. Anyway, back to reality. So, traders, what do we got on the board? This video is being filmed on Wednesday night for trading Thursday, November 6, 2014. Let me just start off with this. We're starting off with a green omni, mean we expect this S&P market to move higher. S&P, I don't know so much about NASDAQ. Certainly S&P we are expecting to move higher, and maybe Dow and the tranny DJT. So at the start of the session, we are buying dips. However, there are some things going on out there, and the main thing is this, traders, if you're watching the markets and you're an analyst. When we see a double top, the rule is we sell a double top. We don't argue the point. If we see a double top, we sell a double top. We do not argue it. We respect that double top. That is a rule at the Omni Trading Academy. What did we do for trading on Wednesday? We got up in the morning. The first thing we did was respect that double top. Omni puts out a short to respect the possible double top we're going to talk about in the emini S&P and in the other markets. The market went against us. We were stopped out. And then, of course, the Omni flipped and luckily got all the Omniacs on the right side of the market today. But I just want to say a round of applause for discipline, because the first thing we did was not break one of our rules, and we took the double top trade and started off with a short. That was for Wednesday. We did that, right? So now I'm free to do whatever I want. Omni, I paid my homage to the double top. Leave me alone. The rest of this, we have to figure out what to do, right? So we really did respect the traders, and I'll show you why I'm talking about it so much. When we see a double top, we sell a double top. However, is this really going to be a pause for a double top? Are we going to pause? Sometimes a double top is not always what it appears to be. That is going to be the lesson in tonight's video. Will we stop at the double top? If I had the crystal ball, baby, it'd be the last trade we ever do together. But without that, we've got the charts to see if we can figure out, will this be a double top? Will it stop? Or will it be one of those occasions where sometimes a double top is not what it appears to be? Traders, if you like the analysis you're about to see in this video, you come on down to livewithoscar.com. Come to my free chat room. It is free at livewithoscar.com. I am live on camera. I am live on microphone most of my life. So come on down. Again, it's free, livewithoscar.com, and join me. Watch these charts. A lot of charts are coming your way right now. Let's together decide whether or not we've got to watch out for this double top, because there's a lot of traders out there starting to sell into this. We paid our homage on Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. A lot of traders are starting to sell into this, traders. So let's go look. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Traders, when we see a double top, we sell a double top, right? That's what we're discussing. But the topic really is sometimes a double top is not always what it seems to be. Looking at the emini S&P, that is a double top, and you have to be a little bit worried. However, very nicely, we're this far the blue above the red, this far above the previous top. So we're a little bit above the double top right now in the emini, the S&P, but on the onset, you got to call that a double top. Then we look at the Russell, and the Russell has a double top here. It never even got as high as this top, the red line representing, so it never even got that high, and look what happened at the last double top. So do double tops work? Yeah, and the S&P looks like one, and so does this. Now, these are the weekly bars. The weeklies are big, right? You got to watch them. But that is two out of a lot of other charts that we need to take a look at. So you've seen Russell, you've seen S&P. Look at this, NASDAQ. NASDAQ says, wait a minute, I'm a weekly too. I'm one of the leading weeklies. The S&P usually follows me. And look where I'm at. I'm all the way up here. This was previous highs. I made this bar, which went through, and now I'm here. So far, so good. One of the leaders saying, I don't think that's going to be a double top, because if it would have been, I would have stopped, right? I like what I see there. Traders, this is the same chart. I blew it up for you a little bit. Look at how far we actually are above that red line. Here's what I want you to find interesting. You had a top. That's called our double top once you get to it again. But you didn't stop for it. You went above it, settled up here, opened up, came down, touched what is now considered that red line, the double top, touched it, and went back up. So it looks like it got above it, came down, tested it for support. Oh, all right. You got to like what you see in the NASDAQ. So a round of applause for that one, because at least that's holding, unlike what I just showed you in the S&P and in the Russell. NASDAQ looking good. Dow Jones Transportation Average, look at this one. This is absolutely one of the leaders, and it's this far above what would have been a double top. And another thing, once again, it blew right through it on the first week. These are weekly bars. Then it spent a few days coming back. It tested it and went right back up, and that's where it is now. That is interesting on the transportation average. Remember, the leader, right? This is deemed the leader of U.S. indices. Oh, my goodness, so far so good through the double top. Dow Jones Industrial Average. This one is going to be interesting. We had a double top here where, if you look, you went this far. I know these charts are a little small, but I got to fit everything on. We went this far through the double top, represented by the line, and then we actually ended up down here. 400-point drop. And we even went through the line a little bit. So here we are, same chart, but we're through the line a little bit more than we were here. That was almost a dot or a blip. We're up here now. So will this act like that and give us a 400-point drop? Let's continue looking at this very same market. Dow Jones Industrial Average, I blew it up. Look just how far we really are in real time above. Once again, on the week that it should have stopped and dropped, it actually went through, up here, went through the red line or through the double top. All right? Came back down, got under it, held, and went back up here, holding this support, or what should have been a double top, and now calling it support. So the Dow Jones is actually getting through that, which should pull the S&P with it, because they're sister markets. Then there's this, traders. Now let's step the view out a bit. The question, double tops, are they always what they seem to be? Because sometimes a double top is not what it seems to be. Now, we stuck to our rules at the OMNI Trading Academy, and we sold respecting the double top. So we took care of that Wednesday. I don't want to get any letters from anybody, because here we are now. We took care of that rule. Dow Jones Weekly. This should have been a double top right here, traders. Look at it. You went up, came back down, went up. Should have been a double top, but instead it went up. Boom, 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 boom. It went a lot higher before making another double top. What looked to be, but it wasn't. Like this one. No double top, it went up. Look at this one. Thought it was a top, thought it was another top. Instead, it went up. Then here, so double top, 1, 2, that went up. Double top, 1, 2, that went up, the second one. Then we make another one of those double tops. 1, 2, it actually comes down for 2 weeks. Then turns around and makes a new high. So because it went down for 2 weeks, we give that an X. So this one didn't work. Then we make another what should have been a double top right here on this bar and this bar. And what did it do? It goes up. So up, not up, up, up. So we got 1, 2, 3 working out of 4. Then we've got this one right here. It should have been a double top, but instead it went up this far before it started to come back down and give us this now new double top. So this is what it looks like right there, right? This is what it looks like right now. Is that a double top? We're already through it. Now that we've stepped this out, I want to blow it up for you. So what we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Out of the 6, one we know didn't work, but it only lasted 2 weeks against it, and then it finally blew up. The other worked, and look at this. This is already through. So you got to like what you see there. I'm going to blow it up, same chart. Traders, look at this. That's the same chart. Look at exactly how far we are through that double top already. Looks to me like the Dow Jones is starting to go. So as I showed you with all the series of these would-be double tops, they're not always what they seem to be. You've got to check other markets and be sure you are looking at a double top. Then we go back to the chart masterpiece, traders. And once again, one more round of applause for this monster. Now, let me show you something. Being that we can now trust I've got a good eye and I can spot an interesting pattern, I've found this pattern, and here's where I contend we are in this pattern. I contend we're in this day, and the day that happened next was the one highlighted right there. That puts us in this day, and I put a fictitious day in right now. This day hasn't happened yet. I contend that we're right here. This is the day that happened afterwards. I think we're right here. This is the day I expect tomorrow. That, back to chart masterpiece, we will use with what I just showed you to consider that on this occasion, we are not going to stop for the double top. Traders, that's what I wanted to show you in the E-mini S&P. There are other markets. There are other markets other than indices. A couple of very interesting ones. So now let's go look at the gold. Okay, traders, the gold. This chart I have been showing you for quite some time, and being that you now can trust that I have a pretty decent eye for these wacky formations, let's revert back to the gold formation. Do you remember I showed this to you and I said I found the formation? I know I found an exact replica of it. And I think what should happen next, we were right here on this bar, as you can see, right? Boom, right there, which was right here. And I said, I know what I think happens next. I put the 3 red arrows and I pointed out that the market dumped. And I put these arrows and said, this is what I expect it to come up a little bit and then dump. And looking just like that, put a hook in and then dump. So that's what we were expecting. And I pointed this chart out to you week after week after week. And that is what it looked like when I showed it to you, traders. And this is what we've got out of that chart so far. My goodness, does that not deserve a round of applause? My goodness. Traders, that looks exactly like this now, even including the massive dump. Ba-boom. So what do you say to that? My goodness, bravo. Thank the Lord we have technical analysis. So now that we've got this going on, it doesn't go straight down, but it sure does drop more after a little ricocheting around. So traders, that's the weekly. You know what this looks like on the daily from when we started playing with this trade right about here? Traders, you want to see what the daily looks like? My goodness, take a look at this chart. There you go, the daily. The weekly, when we started playing with that, was right about here. We expected the hook, right, with the three arrows I pointed out to you. The hook came and the dump. I mean, massive, massive call from OMNI. My goodness, what a great call. Now let's move forward from the gold chart to the crude oil. Traders, to the crude oil. Look at this. Melissa Francis, do you remember me, sweetheart? Why did you throw me off your show? You thought I was a nut. We were trading around 103, 104. I was on her show, and I said, Melissa, I think we go 65, maybe 45 by late 2015. We have dropped from then all the way down to 75, 84, and it's only late 2014. How about that? Why am I not back on your show, Melissa? This was a great call. Give me a call. I'll explain to you how I did it. Traders, it's not me. This is pure technical analysis. I happen to be, luckily, the messenger of the OMNI. Pull your own analysis. Do your own chart work. Never accept anyone's opinion without doing your own homework first. So, traders, you've seen the charts, and there is my argument. Is it a double top? Should you sell a double top? Always. Did we do it? Yes. The Omni put out the short for yesterday, right? We did our job. We respected the double top. However, it's not always a double top. I think the market will have to tell us. We will be as nimble as can be when we buy the dip. Stops will be in. We know stops don't always work. Sometimes like in a flash crash or something like that, the stop won't work. However, put them in anyway because the odds are better that you've got protection on than when you don't, right? So put your stop on and see what happens. Traders, I will see you out live with Oscar.com. Come join me, Omni Campers. Welcome to Vegas, baby. I'll see you all on Friday. I'm looking forward to it. And let me end with Mr. Nigel Sedaros. Love you to death. Love you to death, my brother. I will be here every day for you, and I will never forget. We'll never forget any of it, man. So, love you to death, my brother. In any event, traders, always remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll. I'll see you at live with Oscar.com. And Nigel, love you to death, brother. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.